Hello everybody. So I've been asked to make a video showing some of my retro consoles, what they look like before and after the mClassic and 4K Gamer Pro. So I don't have a whole lot to choose from to do such, but I will show you what I do have. Start down here. In a previous video I had already done the Wii and Wii U, so we can scratch that. I have the Nintendo 64 with the expansion, to run Donkey Kong 64 and whatnot. So I got that in there. On the back of this guy, I do have the Eon Super 64, and I have in the past ran that with the mClassic, but for whatever reason when I run it with the mClassic and the 4K Gamer Pro, it does not work. I mean, it doesn't even display on the TV. The Genesis, I do know, will work with both of them, so I can do that. Dreamcast and Saturn as well. The PlayStation 2 does work. We've already done the PlayStation 3, which you see sitting below, and of course I've done the PlayStation 4, and you now know that I have gotten the audio issue worked out with the Xbox 360. The original Xbox, I can get it to come up on the menu and like select a game or whatnot, but once the game starts, the screen cuts in and out. It just goes black for the most part, so it does not like the 4K Gamer Pro either. And again, it may just be an issue with the TV. It might just be LG. It just has some kind of weird handshaking thing going on. It may vary with a Sony or a Samsung or whatever you have. It may be just fine. But for my particular case, the only way I can play original Xbox is with the mClassic or just by itself. But with the mClassic, it does look nice, and I might be able to show that, but I'm not going to be able to show it paired with the 4K Gamer Pro. PlayStation 2, yeah, it's not much. I mean, I guess it looks better. The thing about the 4K Gamer Pro is it really sharpens things, and even though the mClassic will smooth stuff out, that 4K Gamer Pro sharpens it and brightens it. So in some cases it can make it look worse. So, but I can show you that, and that's about all I have to choose from. I don't have a bunch of older stuff. I've already done the Nintendo Switch as well, so that's in there. And I've heard somebody say that on one of my videos, one of the comments, they said that the PlayStation 5, even running through the mClassic, looks better. I'll have to disagree with that. That's 4K. That looks nice. The mClassic does away with HDR, so games like this that use HDR, it's going to look better with the HDR. I'm sorry. I mean, it's all personal preference, I suppose, but I don't think running the mClassic on the PlayStation 5 improves the PlayStation 5 in the slightest. I think it takes away from it, and that'd be the same way with the Series X. It's not going to improve it. I mean, it's these upscalers are to try to get these old consoles here close to what this guy does and that guy does. With that said, I have said in the past that I think Mortal Kombat XL on the PlayStation 4 running the mClassic and the 4K Gamer Pro does look better to me than what the PlayStation 5 natively shows MKXL at. I think it does look better, but for the most part, no. I mean, that's next gen stuff. That's going to look better. HDR is a big thing, big key component. The 4K Gamer Pro does support HDR, but the mClassic does not. So when you use those two paired together, you're going to cancel out HDR. And out of these consoles here that I am running, through both of those. Only the PlayStation 4 offers HDR anyway, so I lose that when I run those two together. But the upside on it, as far as that goes, I still think it looks great. So, but yeah, I wouldn't dare run the mClassic through a PlayStation 5 or a Series X. But, you know, you do you, as I've said in the past. So with that said, I will try to do some recording here in a little bit. I've got two different means to record. I've got this guy here, the Avermedia, whatever it is. Yeah, Avermedia 2 Plus. Now it's 4K, but it's pass through, as you see. Then I got the Elgato, which is 4K, and you know, it does HDR, but I always have to edit those videos that come out of that because the coloring is just kooky. I always have to go in there and do color correction on the Elgato stuff, and I'm not sure why. Don't have to do it on this guy, but it only does 1080p. But, you know, it's fine. I actually prefer the way this records over the Elgato, but the Elgato's the only one that can give me, if I want 4K content, I have to go with that. So, with that said, I guess we'll, Mr. Kratos hanging onto my PSVR cord. He's just chilling. What do you think, Borat?
Very nice.
So he likes it too. All right, so let me stop blabbing and record some footage for you guys. See you in a bit.
is tingling.
Who will survive?
Engage. Hey! Come on! Web ball! Hey! Come on! Hey!
Get ready to keep up.
Engage.
Eat my dust!
Move it!
Well, it's about time. Lousy, rotten karmic retribution. I'm a lean, mean speed thingy.
Mario.
Rock!
All right, so you've seen the befores and the afters, the original, the mClassic paired with the 4K Gamer Pro 4K GP. As in videos before, I'm running the mClassic on the green setting, not the blue, which is retro. Technically, I probably could do retro on these, especially like the Genesis. But just to keep things simple and standardized, I did green on the mClassic and the brightest blue setting on the 4K Gamer Pro. As said before, the Nintendo 64 kind of already has an upscaler that I'm using as my HDMI, which is the Eon Super 64. So you got to see the Kirby game with the Eon Super 64, and you got to see that paired with the mClassic. Then I didn't think that it worked with the 4K Gamer Pro. Seemed like in the past I tried it, but they're all working together, all three of them going. Honestly, I don't know if it looks any better with using the mClassic or the 4K Gamer Pro. I guess beauty's in the eye of the beholder. I'll let you decide that for yourself. What else? Oh, the Xbox, as said earlier, the Xbox does not like the 4K Gamer Pro, at least on my setup. Again, it could all be an LG TV issue. I love the TV. I got it for a good price. Actually got it off eBay. I was going to buy a Sony, similar specs, 55-inch 4K, but I found this LG for like $300-400 cheaper, believe it or not, and that was with the shipping, so I jumped on it. No regrets, but I do wish that I didn't have to find workarounds for things. And another thing you may have noticed, when I was doing the Dreamcast, there is no original Dreamcast footage that I'm showing, because for whatever reason it would only display once I ran it through the mClassic and then with the 4K Gamer Pro added. But without the addition of those, it wouldn't give me a signal, and I think that's new. I think in the past I had no problems with that. So I've got my little gremlins here to work out, but did it help on some of the consoles? Yeah, it probably did. But on retro consoles, I don't know, sometimes it seems to be a little too much to add all that anti-aliasing and the sharpness, especially on a 4K TV. This, TV will show how dated those look. CRTs still rule for the old stuff anyway. You just can't beat that. You can't mimic that, really. With a modern TV. I'm sorry I'm clearing my throat so much. Just ate some spicy food, and if you've ever swallowed something wrong and it just gets trapped in an airway, it's hell to get it out of there. So that's where I'm at. So what else did I have to go over? What other notes? I guess that's about it. Just thinking real quick, trying to think why maybe I could offer a solution for the Dreamcast, maybe why it's doing what it's doing, but I have no clue why it's doing what it's doing. It's just being a pain in the ass. We'll leave it at that. So there you go. I don't have a Super Nintendo to test or anything like that, or a Sega Master System or anything of that ilk. The oldest thing I've got here is the Genesis, and I did get it to work. Oh, that's what I was going to say. If you don't have an mClassic, you can forget about running just the 4K Gamer Pro with these older consoles. It needs that mClassic to upscale that to 1080p, so you can then take that 1080p and then do the 4K stuff with it. So a lot of those videos, any time you see where I use the 4K Gamer Pro, it is outputting at 2160p. So on my TV, it actually shows it widescreen, except for the Saturn, I believe. The Saturn still shows it 4:3, Everything else it does show at widescreen. So it is outputting it at 2160p, but for the sake of the video, you know, I just encoded everything at 1080p. You're not going to see a difference at 4K. Maybe just it'll look even worse. So that is pretty much every console that I own, short of an Amiga, you know, emulator, or I've got a little Raspberry Pi that has nothing but Amiga, but I'm not going to fool with that. So everything else like Super Nintendo, Atari Jaguar, all that stuff, I emulate that. I run that through RetroArch, so no need really showing that, because all it's going to show is, you know, what I'm outputting at whatever console. I actually use my original Xbox as an emulator because it does a fantastic job still. And I've got RetroArch installed on one of my Switches. Switch is a decent emulator. It's not the most powerful little thing. It's basically just a souped up Android phone. But yeah, so far I've done the Xbox 360. I'm just looking at my collection down here. The Xbox, the Xbox 360, the PlayStation 2, 3, and 4, the Wii U, Nintendo 64, the Genesis, the Dreamcast, the Saturn, and the Nintendo Switch. So those are all that I run through the mClassic and the 4K Gamer Pro. And I may have mentioned this in the past, but I'll touch on it again. I've got an 8-to-1 HDMI switch, so I have all my consoles feeding into that. The Nintendo stuff and the Sega stuff go into their own little mini splitter, a 3-into-1. Then that in turn goes to the HDMI splitter. Then its output passes everything through the mClassic first, and then to the 4K Gamer Pro, then out to the TV, or in my case out to the capture device that I'm using. And I've got two that I use, the AverMedia and the Elgato, and I actually have them now daisy chained. So I have everything going to the AverMedia first because it's a 4K pass through, and then I let that output go to the input of the Elgato, and then the Elgato out to the TV. So that way, if I just want to choose to record in 1080p and 1080p only, I actually like the results of the AverMedia better, because I don't have to color correct those videos, where on the Elgato it just makes it psychedelic as shit. It's just crazy looking. I don't know why, but everything has to be color corrected. And lately, even that's proven it's just acting weird. I mean, I probably wouldn't buy that again, honestly, but I just got it because it does do 4K encoding versus a pass-through. So that's enough jibber jabber for now. Don't know what I'll make a video on next. If you guys have any specific questions or anything, just drop them in the comments below. I do my best to try to reply and respond in a timely manner, but sometimes I just don't feel like getting, on the computer. I go days without touching it, which is odd this day and age. But I'm down here in the man cave, the cave of manliness, playing this stuff. So could be worse things to do, especially like tonight here on a Monday night with it raining outside. My wife's upstairs watching reruns of some old TV show from the 80s called Mama's Family. She loves that stuff, so it keeps her happy. She's up there in her little quiet place doing her thing, and I'm down here.
Very nice.